What's up, everybody? We're here with the first edition of picking winners of the 2025 NFL season. I'm here with my man John and my man Bryce. How you doing today, John?
I love when you talk to me like a 2-year-old. It turns me on.
Yeah. Bryce, you get home safe?
I did get home safe. Thankfully, I have run flat tires. Indianapolis is notorious for blown tires. Blew yet another one today. Trying not to do it on the show with any blown picks. I'm going to go undefeated. Undefeated.
Did you change that tire yourself, Bryce?
Absolutely fucking not. I'm taking it to my boy Perry downtown. I'm best friends with him at this point. Indianapolis has so many potholes. Mark knows my car. It is not one for the faint of heart.
Yeah. I don't think that I would try and fix an $100,000 Mercedes myself either. John, what are you driving?
I don't spend money on anything. I like having a nice car. I know John is with me on this.
I am 100% with you on this. I've always been a car guy. I don't have anything I've got like an Infinity, the SUV, the QX60 now. That's
nice.
Yeah, no, I love.
It's like $80K.
First SUV I've ever had.
Yeah.
The thing here, I haven't gotten flats per se because there's not a lot of potholes, but you run over like nails and crap every 4 to 6 months. I've got to get a patch in the tires. That, and then once every almost year, I've had to get like a ding in my a crack in my windshield. There's some sort of a pebble will hit your windshield here. So that's about a once in a year thing. So other than that, it's much better here.
The construction you're doing in Florida.
There's a lot of construction going on, man. They're putting 2,000 houses up right down the road from me here right now. So
there you go.
It's crazy.
Not your fault.
It is not my fault.
It's never your fault.
Yeah, I drive a 2004 F-150.
That thing's the best, man.
The
red one, right?
You get driven in the 2004 F-150.
No, I get driven in the Rogue. I drive the F-150 is that's what I drive most
Good.
of the time.
I'm glad we were able to make that distinction.
Yeah, it runs. I don't have to take it in very much. We got nice roads here in Memphis.
Is it nice over there? I haven't been there.
Yeah, our roads are fucking.
It's the flat part of Tennessee.
Say what?
It's the flat part of Tennessee.
Yeah,
you go to the hill. You go to the hills. You might have a couple issues.
Dude, you grow up in New York, and then you realize just what I assume most of the rest of the country is like. Where in New York, it takes, dude, when they fix the streets, they'll rip the entire street down to the they rip off all the asphalt, and then you're left with like 2 to 3 weeks of a foot tall sewer that you have to maneuver, like that just scrapes the bottom of your car as you go over it for 3 weeks. Yeah. And then they pave the street. So here it's like in a day or two, boom, they just repaved the. You never even knew they did it. So yeah,
Andrew, you are welcome. Sorry, had to.
Yeah, well, we talked about that this morning. I mean, it seems obvious.
Not to toot Mark's own horn. We talked about Javonte Williams for what? 50
the entire show.
50 of 120 minutes. We did over an hour show last night. Mm-hmm. And Mark was just like, oh, play Javonte captain. Play Javonte captain. Every question he was asked, he was just like, oh, well, just play Javonte captain. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah,
and he wins 200K with it.
Yeah, it was awesome. But I said that game set up perfectly for how Mark likes to play it.
It's always the Cowboys are always
so undervalued last night. They were undervalued in the betting market. I know I caught some crap from Joe Cool because in our little pool.
The only thing that annoyed me about the game is we didn't get the over.
Yeah, not getting but that was all the delay.
I was laughing. I'm watching this. With like 9 minutes to go, I go, is it possible that this game is not going to go?
So
this won't go.
I'm sitting here calling Mark, letting him know he's super live. He had no fucking idea.
I was asleep.
He was dead asleep. I call him probably 3 times. I'm like, you're in first. Because the game's delayed, until 2:30 Eastern? I think that's when it was over.
No. It ended much earlier than that. It was like 12.
No, yeah,
12,
it was probably
12, 15.
I don't know.
Or
'Cause I
when
woke up
people
I took
when
piss at,
people
like,
left
3
my
and it
when
was
people
over.
left my house, I think it was 12:30 Eastern instead of 2:30 Eastern that I was calling Mark. I'm calling him nonstop, and he doesn't answer. He doesn't care. He just wakes up. He's like, "Oh, I won 200."
Well, he
My process was right. I deserved it.
he was like, well, when the long run from Sanders that they I mean, how
They
slow
caught him. If they had not caught him, it would have been like
it would have
350.
been easy. And I'm like, but how did they even? I mean,
It was a linebacker that ran him down.
That's going to tell you a lot about Sanders this year.
But
and
they wouldn't.
No, dude, they did.
They,
And then when he
but
fumbled,
they
bro,
wouldn't
he's
have ran
inactive
as
this week.
they wouldn't have ran as much clock.
Yeah.
I mean, the Sanders
It worked out.
Like
It worked out.
Well, I'm saying if he didn't get tackled, you could have won 350, but you could have also lost it back.
Yeah.
other shit.
Philly would have
I think
easily
you-
come down.
I think you take 200K in the outcome, right?
Yeah, that it worked out.
Yeah.
So-
You never complain. I'm just saying at that point.
There's no complaining here, Mark.
At that point, it looked bad. I was like, and then he goes and then they get it down to the goal line. He's still in there, and I'm like, all right, beautiful. Hand it to Sanders, and then he coughs it up.
Fucking fumbled. Yeah.
All right. Question for you, John.
Yes.
Do you think Jaden Blue is that good?
I don't know. I mean, he's better than Sanders. We'll put it that way. I think
Sanders looked like shit, even
Yeah,
on the
Sanders-
run.
Jaden Blue, quick rundown for people who did not watch college football. Absolutely electric, huge fumbling problems is the downside. I would much rather take the downside than the upside.
Yeah,
And everything that comes with it.
If you have fumble problems in the NFL, you better be elite. And even the elite guys don't last very long if they can't hold on.
The only guy I can think of that fumbled and stayed around was AP.
Yeah, Devin agrees with me. You cannot fumble in the NFL.
Well, you had,
but if you do it in college, you get a pass.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, because those guys are just so far talented above the next guy. Tiki Barber was the guy that I can remember who actually changed.
Yeah.
He changed how he carried the ball. I don't know if I've ever seen anyone as dramatic a turnaround in fumbling to non-fumble. Then he became a guy you just could not strip the ball from. But yeah, no, the NFL coaches do not have a lot of.
Tiki started carrying it so much higher than he used to.
Yeah, he was doing that, like carrying it
high
up
and tight
shoulder.
High and tight.
Yeah, like here.
High and tight.
But yeah. Anyway,
NFL
speaking of fumbling problems, Pacheco tonight, he's got an over-under of 49.5. It seems kind of low.
I think I took him over my pick six.
Yeah. What do you think, John?
That's absurdly low.
I thought it was, I thought it was low as well. And I was contemplating taking that as one of my prop bets here for tonight, but I don't know. I'm a little worried about it because you never know what the Kansas City offense, what they're going to come out looking like. I do have high hopes here for Pacheco this season, though, so I do lean more towards the over on that play.
Yeah, I'm with you. But
100% in on Pacheco.
Let's talk about this game though.
Let's talk about
this game. So we could talk about the side in a second, but since you kind of brought up Pacheco, it kind of goes into where I'm looking at that total. Does that total seem a little high? Now it almost seems high, in an enticing way that I want to take the over, because these teams, the Chargers basically took the air out of the ball all year last year. You expect them to do that again, and the Kansas City offense wasn't exactly dynamic, and their defense was elite last season, and then they throw like this 45.5 up there. Seems high for an early season game that we're expecting kind of a defensive battle, or at least I thought we were going to. That seems a little higher than I thought, almost making me feel like they're forcing me to take the over, the reverse psychology play. I don't know. I don't particularly like either side of it, but I would have thought this line would have been lower.
No, I mean, I bet the over. It's gone up now, and some of the sharper books are up to 47.5. I think a lot of it has to do with how last year when they played in Brazil, the footing for a lot of these guys was not there, if you recall, which heavily favors the offense, and we got like a massive shootout on the soccer field. And they're acting like they, did some sort of advanced voodoo shit to make the grass easier to fucking grip. But that sounds like bullshit to me. So I'm definitely going over.
Oh yeah, it's 47. Yeah, 47 now. I was I was just looking at that Giants game was 45.5, but yeah, 47. That just seems
It's
high,
going
but you're
over.
right.
I think it's going
Yeah.
over.
No,
I think one of the biggest common misconceptions is that a bad field leads to unders. Like it leads to freak plays.
Right. The
Right?
defenders are way more likely
Yeah.
to flip than the offensive
Yes,
players.
because the offensive guy knows where he's going.
Right.
Anyone who's played football.
it's
knows
hard for the
that.
pass rush as well.
Even Mark knows that. You don't get as much pass rush. You can give 1 foot to a defender and you're gone. The ball can slip out of your hands. There's all types of stuff to make games go over on a somewhat negative field.
I was quick as I played in a touch league, 2-hand touch, which was rough touch back when in my early 20s, and we had a pretty slow team. But the beginning of the season, everything was on ice, and we were dominating on ice.
Went across the middle.
I was the guy who went across.
Yep.
We just get killed. You just get hit in the back of the head like constantly with these guys. But on the ice, we were winning games early because everything was icy and snowy. And as soon as things thawed out, and then speed became a thing, we were just getting blown out because the speed. So yeah, you're right on slow. Like it kind of neutralizes. It obviously neutralizes speed, but you can gain an advantage. The offense definitely has an advantage on fields that are a little tricky. So I agree with you there. I like my lean was to the over just because I'm looking at the way the market's moving, like you said, and it looks like a high number to me that it's almost like they're enticing you to bet the over. So I would agree with you on the they're enticing you to bet the under. I would agree with you on the over tonight.
I think Snyder's right also. I think Kansas City is going to speed it up. I don't think they're going to be
There's no reason not to with Mahomes. You're dumb for not doing it in the first place.
Yeah.
Well, they relied on that defense. I mean, the defense was elite last year.
Yeah,
That's what
I don't
really
think the defense would be nearly as good, but so they might need to score a little more. That said, they've still got fucking Mahomes. So as far as deciding this game, I've got the Chiefs laying 3. It opened at 2.5. The market's been going toward the Chiefs. Do you agree with that?
See, this one I'm going to be on the other side. I like. It's not a strong play, but I do like. I like the Chargers here to be able to keep this one close. So I like early in the year. I do like taking a few more dogs than typical. This isn't necessarily a bet I would make, but in the pools, I'm taking Chiefs. We got that RPS pool going over on CBS, and I'm taking the Chargers in that one plus the 3.5. You get the hook here. Not a strong play. Do you have conviction on this one though, Mark?
Yeah, I like the Chiefs a lot.
How often have the Chargers worked out for you? You think Justin Herbert is going to beat not Patrick Mahomes? Give me Mahomes.
No, yeah. I get it.
But it's that simple. I don't care who he's throwing to. I don't care who's on defense. Give me Mahomes.
They were not a good cover team against the spread here last year.
They were awful. But they were also laying what? 7.
They were also not laying 3 usually.
No, usually not laying 3.5. But I trust me. I'll take if you guys have conviction on it. It's not one of my favorite plays, but I'm going to lean towards the dog on this one. I like that game last night, but I wish we had the game last night. We did the show. That was one of my favorite games of the week.
Yeah, Dallas. That was
that's one of the better football games you can get,
play of the week.
It was an entertaining game until the Lightning, but yeah,
it was entertaining after the Lightning.
Yeah, it was.
If you're a real football fan, you stayed up.
I did stay up for it.
I did.
You
not.
did. Mark didn't. And he won $200K
to watch. Exactly.
Is there a correlation with that?
Probably.
Well, we've had nights like that where Mark has passed out, usually passed out drunk, and woken up for a big payday.
Yeah,
so it's happened before.
You just slap him on the head. Everything's good. Exactly. I called his wife twice.
She did not pick up either.
No, and then I was like, "Yep, he doesn't want to know." He can just wake up to.
She was asleep way before me. She didn't even make it to halftime. Let's see.
The same way.
So then we'll move into Sunday. So we're kind of split on that game. John likes the Chargers. Yep. We do all like the over. So the consensus play tonight would be over 46.5 at DraftKings for Kansas City and Los Angeles. Going to Sunday, I will go in rotation number order here.
Do you want to do a pick six real quick
For tonight's game.
for the game?
For tonight's game. Okay.
Yeah, just quick pick six. We all like the over
for tonight's game.
We all like the over, right?
Okay. Let's see here. How do I?
All right, I'll go over 250 Mahomes passing yards. I guarantee that's the chalkiest.
Let me get a little screen share going on here.
There we go.
Screen share.
Kind of.
Okay, let's see here.
You cut John off. It's totally
that's
fine with me. Yeah.
But we're just gonna go through it real quick anyway. All right, so you like Mahomes more than 250.5 passing yards.
Yep.
I will take Najee over 23.5 rushing yards. John.
Man, I hate to get another over on KC, but this is a small one. Noah Gray, I'm going to take the tight end over the 17.5 yards.
Noah Gray over. I mean, we hit last night with all overs. Bryce.
Did you choose Najee already?
Yeah.
Okay. That was going to be my next one. I'm going to go Kareem Hunt under 22.5.
Kareem Hunt.
I don't think he gets as much run as people think.
Under. I will go with Justin Herbert more than 15.5 rushing yards.
Ooh.
John.
He has sneaky rushing upside.
Yeah, I just analyzed that one for a prop. It's close, but it just came under. But yeah, I do like that over as well. I'll give you one under on let's go Juju's receiving yards here under the 21.5.
Smith-Schuster under. So we got Pat Mahomes over 250.5 passing yards. Najee Harris over 23.5 rushing yards. Noah Gray over 17.5 receiving yards. Kareem Hunt under 22.5 rushing yards. Justin Herbert over 15.5 rushing yards. Juju Smith-Schuster under 21.5 receiving yards. $100 wins at least $21.60. While it checks my location, my picks have been submitted. I will post that after the show.
Love that. Got some unders in there too.
All right. Now moving to Sunday. First game, Steelers at Jets. Aaron Rodgers returning to the Meadowlands, MetLife. We got the Steelers are laying 3 at even money, and the over-under is 38. Bryce, your Steelers are favored on the road here. Do you like them to win this game?
I don't like anything to do with this game. I would take the under. You get two shit-ass quarterbacks. Rodgers masquerading as a Steelers quarterback. I don't think it ends well. I like the under as my favorite bet in the game. If I was forced to choose a side, I would choose the Steelers. I don't want anything to do with this game, really, in betting or DFS. It is just a straight under to me. What do you guys think?
John.
Yeah, not a strong conviction either way. I would lean a little. I would lean towards the over myself on this one. Don't feel strong, but I think the one I feel a little bit stronger about. I like the Steelers as well. I'm not a Justin Fields fan. I think in DFS he certainly has more potential this week. I think he could actually be a little sneaky than Rodgers. Rodgers is just not playable, but yeah, I just don't in real life. I just don't. I don't like Fields. This is a weird. I don't know. This was an odd move, I thought, for the Jets. We'll see how it plays out. But I think Rodgers, we were very bearish on Rodgers, weren't we, Mark, as far as the Jets go? This situation is a little different because I know how much you like Tomlin as much as I do. He's won with much worse. I just feel like Tomlin will be able to get Rodgers to just do enough. He's got to be better than what they had there last year and just be able to take care of the ball. So I like the Steelers in a game that they know the quarterback here. They should be able to take advantage of it.
Yeah, this is actually one of my biggest bets of the week. I'm on Pittsburgh. I think the Jets are fucking terrible. I don't think they're going to be able to score hardly at all on Pittsburgh's defense. I think it's a bad matchup for them. Fields, I really have no faith in whatsoever. So, yeah, I like Pittsburgh and the under. here. So I agree with Bryce on the under, and I agree with you on Pittsburgh, but that will probably be one of my 4 or 5 largest bets of the week on the Steelers here. Moving on to Bryce's other team, the Colts, and my man Daniel Jones playing host to the Miami Dolphins, who everybody seems to think sucks for some reason. We have a over-under of 46 and a half, depending where you're at. Spread anywhere from a pick'em to a -1.5 in the Colts' favor. John, who do you like here, and why is it Miami?
Well, you picked the right side. I do agree with you on this one, and I do like this as a bet. I like Miami plus the 1.5. I agree. I mean, they're making like Miami out. If you remember, you're coming into last year like, okay, Miami's going to take that step forward and everything, and now
It's the same fucking team.
Exactly, and it's the reverse. That's the thing with this league. The beauty of the NFL is it's a small sample size. It's the bad part, and it's the good part. You really doesn't take much. You get off, you have a few bad games, the ball bounces the wrong way, and you have an awful season as opposed to making it to the playoffs. So that's why, especially early in the season, I like betting a lot of these underdogs. This actually fits a model that I like. This is a team that in the first 3 weeks, you want to take teams in the first 3 weeks of the year that didn't make the playoffs and were also under 500 against the spread. That's Miami. That was Dallas last night. Miami fits that here. I like Miami. New quarterback within by the way, that's another guy. I think Daniel Jones, if he runs, and I think with that team, Indianapolis, they may ask him to run a little bit more. We'll see. He will, right? You think so?
I would take his over on rushing.
Yeah, I think for DFS, I think he's a really interesting DFS play, and I do think this could be a lot of
his over under rushing is probably 12.5. I would hammer that. That's probably what it's set at. I would set it 21.5.
Yeah, I think he could be interesting in DFS. I like typically you're going to like a lot of running quarterbacks, but I think he's interesting. I do like the over, but I have a strong opinion on Miami here plus the 1.5. If not,
Daniel Jones' over under is 22.5 rushing yards.
Yeah.
There you go.
Right where you made it.
Set at 21.5.
Yeah. So I do
Bryce,
think
what do you like in the game?
Run more.
I mean, I kind of like Daniel Jones in this offense. I would take the Colts in the over, but it's not a strong lean either way. I think the downside of that is, say Daniel Jones plays bad, are they going to put an AR?
No.
If they put an AR, you're screwed. I don't think that happens, but that's like the upside of betting the under, in my opinion. I do prefer the over and the total points, but that's contingent on Daniel Jones playing the game.
Yeah, I definitely lean to the over. Not going to play it, but most likely. But I do like Miami as a side for the same reasons as John stated. I think they're a significantly better team than the Colts, and the market kind of will catch up with the Dolphins being similar to they were last year. By midseason, I foresee them getting 9 or 10 wins and pushing for the bottom of the playoffs.
So, Mark, I get this question a ton. How much would you put on coaching, like points-wise?
It depends who it is.
Well, so take this game, for example.
Right.
Like how much – obviously, McDaniel's worth at least half a point.
Yeah.
Would you give him a point and a half?
It depends.
Would you give him even more than that?
Like
Andy I don't think Steichen's an idiot, right? But I think McDaniel's one of the better coaches. So how do you approach that?
Yeah, I think a lot of it gets baked into the general calculation on the team because especially with McDaniel's been there for a while. I don't think a whole lot is going to change. So his in-game decision making is typically pretty sharp. So I do think he's worth at least a half point to a point. Guys like Tomlin end up, that just constantly overperform, over time, the market tends to favor them, as you can see with the line drifting toward the Steelers. But yeah, no, I love Miami here. I think by the time the game starts, they may end up being favored in this game. So we all like Miami.
Nope, Bryce likes the Colts. Bryce
likes the Colts because he's a Colts fan.
I like the over. I don't know. Tua's good. When Miami has Tua, and like McDaniel has a quarterback to run his system that he trusts, it's kind of hard to bet against him.
Yeah. All right. So next we got the Panthers at the Jaguars. The Jaguars are -3.5, -105 with an over-under of 46.5. Bryce, who do you favor here in my Panthers against the Jaguars?
I favor the Panthers. I think the Jaguars is some of the worst chalk you're going to see all year. DFS and betting. You'll look back on this and wonder why they were favored as much as they are.
John.
I like the Panthers and the under.
Yeah, this game, when I'm doing the Survivor breakdown and everything, like Jacksonville's kind of a team that fits in there because they don't have a lot of future value playing against Carolina. If you're in a massively large pool, but it's probably my least favorite of any team that you might consider this week. I like Carolina plus the points, plus the 3.5. I think this team at the end of the year, I thought we saw Bryce Young start to take some steps forward. I like the way the Panthers team is moving, the direction they're moving in a lot more than Jacksonville. I agree with Bryce here. I think if they play this game week 10, this game is closer to a pick 'em. So I'm going to take the points here with Carolina. They also fit that same trend that I was talking about earlier with the first 3 weeks, non-playoff teams that were under 500 against the spread. That would be Carolina this weekend. So I like the Panthers here plus the 3.5, and it's another over. Not a strong play on the over, but I would take this one over as well.
I also lean to the over in Carolina, John. At Carolina, I think a lot of their issues last year with the defense being so bad were due to injuries to J.C. Horn and Derek Brown. They're both playing. The Panthers' defense will be vastly improved, and so I think they'll be able to score enough to make up for the defense, unlike last year where they just gave up like 40 points a game, and they never had a shot. So definitely on Carolina here.
The best undercover shootouts in the league.
Yeah.
Hands down.
I mean, I won my million off of a Tampa Carolina game.
Yeah, them in Tampa.
That was.
Let's see. Next, we have the New York Giants and Russell Wilson visiting the Washington Commanders. I'm going to start here because I think the Commanders are the most overrated team in the league, and I think they're going to have a losing record. So, I think Jaden Daniels is very overrated and will take a step back this year, similar to how CJ Stroud did last year. Let's see here. We got Commanders laying 6 with an over-under of 46. I like the Giants quite a bit. I think these teams are similar talent levels, and 6 is too much. John?
This is one of my stronger plays of the weekend, and it's the Giants. So I'm on the same side as you. Again, this is another one of those teams early in the year, coming off a bad year, under 500 against the spread. Obviously not a playoff team in the Giants. Looking for them to rebound. I agree. I love these spots. I love a team that went to the playoffs last year, an unexpected playoff team in Washington. A year ago, we were not looking at this Washington team the way we're looking at them now. I agree. Probably a bit overrated. I say they don't make the playoffs this season. So I think we're getting a bargain here in week 1. These teams are closer than you think. So I do like the Giants plus the 6 points. I think this is another situation where this will be a 3-point spread in week 7, 8, 9, 10, something like that.
Giants and under as well. I think it's the first thing we've agreed on. Russell Wilson is not as bad as the market is making him out to be. Like,
he made the playoffs too.
Russell Wilson is not a bad NFL quarterback. He's just kind of like a bridge guy, right? Like Jackson Dart will be the starter at some point. I don't think that's week 1.
Depends how many games they win off the bat.
Well, I could see the Giants kind of making a run here. I don't hate them in the division. I think the division's going to be down in general.
Yeah, Philly did not look amazing yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, losing Carter on the first play doesn't help, but you're right. I don't think the division is nearly as strong, and I think the Dallas team is at least going to contend here for a playoff spot in that division.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the Giants plus the 6. I'm with you guys here on this game. So yeah, it's one of my stronger plays, I think, for the week.
All right, next we've got Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals visiting Cleveland. Short trip in state they are laying 5 or 5.5, depending on where you're at, with an over-under of 48. Bryce, how do you feel about Joe Burrow and the Bengals?
Bengals and over.
Bengals and over, he says. Which
I think Joe Burrow
a lot of games this year are going to be Bengals and over.
Well, they're not going to play any defense. I feel better about the over than the Bengals, but I think they lay it on them here.
John,
this is not. I don't love this game at all. My lean here was to the Browns. Don't particularly love it. So if you guys have a stronger opinion on it, by all means, I would defer to you guys. But I like this game to go over as well. And small lean to the Browns. I know you're not a big. I'm going to be very surprised here if Mark comes out with the Bengals, because I know he thinks Burrow is one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. So we'll get to hear his Bengal rant here in a second.
Well, I don't think there will be a Bengal rant because exactly. Mark posted Bengals bets in chat.
You had to, yeah. Well, he likes to troll the Bengals.
I don't think the schedule's that rough. But no, the 5.5 is too many. I like the Browns, and I agree with you guys on the over because, yeah, the Bengals can score and they can't play defense, and 48 should be 51, frankly, and it may get there. So, Bengals and over there. Or sorry, Browns and over for me, Bengals and over for Bryce, Browns and over for John.
Before we get to that next one, do you think the kickoff changes affect the total a little bit?
Yes. And in preseason, I was betting over like every game.
The overs were crushing in the preseason.
I think from the beginning of the preseason, I bet over like 5 to 10 yards
matters way more than people think.
Yeah. I was betting crazy overs in preseason, and it was just smashing.
Piggybacking off that, do you think the ball placement, having it be like Hawkeye and tennis, won't matter?
So the more automation that comes into the league, it tends to favor the road teams because referees subconsciously listen to crowd noise. So I every time something automated replay comes in, just downgrade your home advantage just a little bit.
I like that take.
Yeah. All right.
Last night, just quick on, you talk about ball position. Did you think that Jalen Hurts, that push late in the game, they were on like their own 30, looked like he came nowhere? I don't know if you remember the play. It looked like he came nowhere close. There was no challenge, no nothing. The referee on the top of the screen comes in about a yard short. The guy on the bottom of the screen runs at the line and doesn't even spot it, just starts calling for the chains to move.
In the regular season.
Thank you, Devin. Devin is saying that was not a fair. It didn't even look close.
In the regular season, that's just automatic, right? Like there's no dispute.
Well, he basically got his helmet to the line. That was all he got. So no way the ball got there. And the guy at the top of the screen had it marked perfectly. The side judge comes in from the bottom of the screen and came on the line and just starts calling it a first down without even spotting the ball. I thought it was insane. It was a huge part of the game. But it goes back to home field, and I don't know why you're right. It's automated because it's an automated system, but where he spotted it was insane. But that's a side note. I'm glad someone else caught that.
All right. Next, we have the Las Vegas Raiders, who everybody seems to be down on, visiting the New England Patriots, who everybody seems to be up on. We've got the Patriots laying 2.5 minus 115 with an over-under of 44. Bryce, do you believe in the Patriots?
Give me the Raiders. As much as I like Drake May, Geno Smith is one of the biggest quarterback upgrades in the NFL, hands down. I don't think there's any disputing that. I will be betting the Raiders for the foreseeable future. if I had to lean total, it kind of feels like the market agrees with me too, because like last year this would have been what, a 36.5 total, 38.5 total. I think May will be better this year. Like, I'm not down on the Patriots at all. I just think that Geno is one of the biggest quarterback upgrades, and it's not being fully priced in yet.
John.
Man, I could not agree with Bryce more. When you gave the intro to this game, you're like, a lot of people are high on the Patriots. They're down on the Raiders. I don't get the love. I don't get the Patriot love. I mean, maybe they just think May is going to be that good.
I think May is good.
No, I think he's good. I think he's
you can make an argument for them just because of May.
I think Mark, you've got the Patriots not to make the playoffs, I believe, right? And that was what
my largest futures bet is on the Patriots to miss the playoffs.
I thought that line just seemed. I don't know. Obviously, we're going to find out.
The division is sneaky tough.
Yeah, I mean, you've got obviously.
I think a lot of it has to do with people being down on the Dolphins. So the value is going toward the Dolphins because everybody thinks they suck and the Patriots are good when it's probably inverted.
I agree.
I would take 2 over May. As long as 2 is healthy, that thesis holds.
Yes, of course. As long as 2 is on the field, they're good.
Yeah. But I totally agree. I've got their under and their win total under. I thought it was too high. But yeah, in this particular matchup, I agree. I think the consensus in the market and is just, I think it's wrong. So I think we could take advantage of that here. And I agree with you with Geno Smith. I mean, I think that's a massive upgrade for the Raiders.
Yep.
So
best Pats defender is out as well.
Yeah, I would lean to this game over, but the Raiders, that's the side I like quite a bit. So that's another one that will be a bet. The Raiders side for me, plus the 2.5, probably win this game outright.
I agree. I'm heavily on the Raiders here. It's going to be one of my larger bets, most likely. Geno Smith, massive upgrade. Pete Carroll, upgrade. Chip Kelly, upgrade. I think the Raiders are not going to have very much trouble putting up points. The only flaw would, you worry about the defense other than Crosby, but I do think they will have enough to beat New England. But I do also like the over. I think we get a lot of points here. I think the Raiders probably put up 30 in this game. Next, we've got the possibly improved Arizona Cardinals visiting the dog shit New Orleans Saints. The Cardinals, who are probably going to be the chalk survivor pick, laying 6.5 at the Superdome against the Saints with a 43.5 total. John, are the Saints going to be as bad as it seems?
Well, the chalk survivor pick in Circa potentially. Well, actually, no, because I think they have they're playing the Thanksgiving. I think you might potentially need them for Thanksgiving. If I recall, Circa's a little weird, but the chalk pick in most pools is going to be Denver this week. That's the one that everyone's on, but Arizona's right there as well. And I agree with you. I like Arizona in survivor pools. Very little future value. I do think New Orleans maybe it may be a little bit of a struggle for this New Orleans team this year. I don't have a strong conviction on the game. If I had to lean one way, I'd take the favorite here. I would take Arizona because I do like them. I like Arizona early in the year, especially when Kyler Murray is not banged up. So I don't mind them in this spot. Not going to be a bet for me, but I like I would take Arizona I will have them in my pool and slight lean to the over as well on this game. Just not a strong conviction game for me.
Bryce.
I think there is a spot to take New Orleans this year. It's when Olave and Kamara are healthy and they're giving them touches. That being said, I could easily see them punting the season away. The quarterback play is going to be so bad, no matter who you put in. This is, I don't love to say it, this is just kind of a complete stay away game for me. I could see it going either way as like where they really like if New Orleans really wanted to, You just throw a zillion dump offs to Kamara and a zillion slants to Olave. He gets another concussion. He's done for his career. I don't know. I'm personally staying away from the game.
It's one of those games where you've got smart people and dumb people aligned. It's a bell curve game. The line is only going up. It's only gone up. You have no takers on the Saints. I don't think anybody's going to take them unless the line gets to 7.5.
7.5, you could get takers. For sure.
7.5 you could, but the Saints are just on paper the cap hell they've been in for 5, 6 years has finally caught up to them. They're so bad. I usually like teams like that at the beginning of the season, but I really don't think they have any hope, and I think Arizona just beats them into the ground. I'm not as confident in the total, even though I do like the over, just because I'm not sure the Saints will score at all.
Well, it depends if the Saints try to score.
I mean, they'll be trying to score, but
yeah. But so, how many snaps is Kamara going to play?
I mean, they're paying him to fucking play
60% at
Yeah.
best.
Yeah,
I really do.
I
think
just,
he's limited.
I don't understand their decision making and the things that
Like
they're
if
doing.
you're playing
so.
Kamara and Olave 100% of snaps,
No.
I would exactly. If they were, I would take them in the over, but they're not.
All right. Well, moving on to the last 1:00 game, the NFC South reigning champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers pay a visit to Michael Penix Jr. and the Atlanta Falcons. We have the Bucs laying 1.5 and an over/under of 47. Bryce, do you think that Michael Penix is the guy, or should they have Cousins still in?
I'm a huge Michael Penix guy. I like the Falcons in the over.
Falcons and over. John.
Yep. QB decision there for me. I like Penix.
Yeah, I'm taking the Falcons and the over as well. I don't love the game. The side Falcons are it's a lean for me, not a slight lean. It's a strong lean, not maybe slight play. But I like the Falcons side of the game. I think listen, what Baker did last year was amazing with this Bucs team. I do think the Falcons finally take a step up. I like London. I like their offense quite a bit, and I do think Penix will be solid. They've got to play him over Cousins. I don't think there's any doubt about it. I was really disappointed with Cousins last season.
He was hurt.
I was even before he got hurt. I know he came into the season hurt, and
They beat the
all
Eagles
that.
on the road when he was healthy.
Yeah, no, early in the year, we were talking about
shoulder.
veterans. We were talking about the Darnolds and the Cousins, and that eventually that all started to fade away as the season went on. Yeah, no, they were strong early in the season, no doubt. But I think Penix I think he'll take them to the next level. I'd be interested to see if we could ever get the Kyle Pitts that we thought we were gonna. It's still one of the best calls I've ever made. Was one of the worst draft picks of all times.
It was terrible.
Prince, that was promise.
Yeah.
Michael Penix will take him to the promised land.
I completely disagree with both of you. I think Penix is terrible, and I think that Cousins should be playing. Their offensive line is bad. I don't think Atlanta's going to be able to score, even on Tampa. I like Tampa and the under, pretty strong on the under. I don't think this game is very high scoring. I think Tampa and Bucky grind them out. But if the Falcons do win, I think it will be on the back of the defense, not Penix.
It's interesting because a lot of people really like this as a DFS game.
I think it's low scoring.
Igbuka is going to be the highest down player.
It's gone from 49 to
DFS.
47, so it's moving down.
So would you be over under Igbuka?
On who?
Emeka Igbuka.
I mean, I haven't really dug too far into the pricing.
He will be the highest owned receiver.
They have seemed like they really want to get him the ball in preseason.
Well, because he's the receiver one.
Yeah, but
right now.
The Falcons defense is pretty good against the pass. I don't really like. Again, I think it's going to be a low scoring game. I don't like any of it that much. Moving on to the 4:00 games, we have the Tennessee Titans and Cam Ward visiting Mile High Stadium in Denver against the Broncos, coming off a playoff appearance similar to Washington, where I think they're pretty overvalued and probably will miss the playoffs this year. The Broncos are laying 8.5 on a total of 42.5. John, do you like Bo Nix enough to cover an 8.5 spread
on a low total?
Yeah, on a low total. This is a tough one. I don't like I would not be betting this game. I like Bo Nix quite a bit, which is contrary to what I would have said a year ago coming in. But man, he impressed me a lot last season. If I had to lean one side, I do think they could cover this game. It's tough you get a rookie quarterback on the road, tough place to play against a team that I think is pretty quality here in Denver. I'm going to take the Broncos here minus the points, but small. I hate laying that many points in the NFL, especially week 1. But I think that's the side I got to be minus the 8.5. Strong survivor play too.
Bryce?
No chance. I take the 8.5 personally. Give me the dog all day here. As much as I am a Bo Nix guy this year, but 8.5 is too many for an opening game. Even in the altitude, I don't want anything to do with it.
I am leaning with John here. I like the Broncos, but not necessarily because of Bo Nix. I think that it'll be tough for Cam Ward to score on that defense. They've got some anchors there that they have recently paid, and they should be good for quite some time on defense. I think we get a fairly low-scoring affair where the Broncos win along the lines of 24-10-ish, and Cam Ward throws 3 or 4 interceptions type deal, and the Broncos
see that's the difference. You have 24-10. I would have it more like 23-17.
Yeah, I just don't have a lot of
more of like a
in,
sloppy.
I've got zero faith in Cam Ward to score against Denver and on the road. So I think he's going to have a bit of a rough time.
The more I hear that, I don't hate being talked into fading a rookie quarterback in his first start at altitude.
Yeah. All right, next we have the San Francisco 49ers visiting their rival Seattle Seahawks. The 49ers are laying anywhere from 1-2 with an over-under of 43.5. There has been a lot of upheaval on both sides of this game. Bryce, do you think Sam Darnold is the choice the Seahawks should have made, or are they just going to tank this season?
Yeah, I like Darnold. My favorite play here is the over by a decent margin. On the San Francisco side, it kind of depends on how many, what you're getting from Purdy, right? It kind of depends on how many skill guys are healthy for them. I personally think that the whole CMC thing is bullshit, and he's going to be a go. I think Juwan Jennings plays. I think Ricky Pearsall's a dog. I just kind of like the over. I've always been a Darnold guy, and I will continue to be in this spot. Give me the over in this game.
The line has moved down a point with the CMC news in lockstep.
Well, because they play much faster with CMC too. Yeah. It's not just like, oh, he's a better running back. It's
it moved towards Seattle and down. It was both.
Yeah.
But to touch on that, I agree. I think McCaffrey plays, but this exact same situation happened last year and he didn't.
Shanahan also plays for the long game.
Yeah. I can't say with any conviction one way or the other.
As I said, I think it depends on if you think these giant skill guys play. Juwan Jennings included.
Yeah. I lean towards San Francisco if they do. I'm not as convicted on the total, but I do think the 49ers are vastly improved this season versus the way that they played last year. I bet them to win the Super Bowl at 20-1 on DK. John, do you agree that the 49ers will be better?
Yeah, I think they will be better. And I there's like a, there's this thing where we love to just kind of get on the new team and then get off the team that we've been riding for a few years. And when I say us, I mean collectively as NFL fans. And I'm just seeing a lot of people thinking like that entire Western division is pretty weak. I don't know. I still think the 49ers are the class there. And I think we're getting a bargain here on the line. I think the upheaval in Seattle is much more detrimental to that Seahawks team than what we saw with the changes here with the 49ers. I think you've got a big advantage at coach. I like, listen, I like Debo. He's not there now. I think they had a lot of pieces. I think they've got new pieces now. I think Pearsall's going to be great. CMC, I agree with you, will play in this game. I don't think he's going to miss it. I just like the coaching. I like this team overall. I think they beat Seattle. I'm not a big Darnold guy. I think the changes in Seattle are going to be a lot more detrimental than some of the changes that we saw on the San Francisco side. I like San Francisco here minus the points.
All right. Next game, we have one of the biggest games of the week with Detroit heading into Green Bay to face the Packers. The Packers are laying 2 on a total of 47.5. John, do you think that the Packers are going to be significantly better with Micah Parsons like I do?
It's a big help. I mean, there's no doubt about it. He's one of the few guys, the point spread doesn't move much, if at all, really, on any players outside of quarterbacks. There's a few running backs that are going to move the line. The CMC that we just spoke about is one of those type of guys. Very few defensive players, but I think Micah is one of those guys who can move the line. And of course, it's going to move it in the Packers' favor. He's worth at least a half a point, maybe even up to a point, I think, for the Packers. I'm just, in this particular matchup, my lean is actually on Detroit. I think there's a lot of people kind of burying Detroit a little bit this year. They're ready to crown Green Bay. I think I'm going to take Detroit plus the points small. Seeing 2.5 right now. I would love to get 3. I don't think that ever happens, but yeah, I would lean. My lean would be on Detroit. This is another one where I don't see where people are as down. I mean, there's some people, I've heard some people picking Detroit to win the Super Bowl also, but it seems like people are a little bit more down, and I think a little high on the Packers. I'll take Detroit plus the +2. Really, in most markets, FanDuel's got it at +2.5. Don't think we get to the 3, unfortunately. So small play for me.
Bryce,
I think this is probably the best division in football. Yeah, I love the Pack here. I mean, if you look at the Cowboys' stats with and without Parsons on the field, I think he is probably the most impactful non-quarterback in the NFL. And I will take them at home all day, not on the fast track in Detroit. So, I don't know. Give me the Pack here. I've always been Jordan Love guy and will continue to be. So, yeah, I don't. It's somewhat of an ugly bet because I like both teams. I want to be a buyer on both teams. I think this is the best division in football. It's gonna be a tough game. Give me the home team with Parsons making a huge difference on defense.
I think a lot of the people that are down on the Lions, John, it's schedule related. They, they've got a murderer's row in front of them. But again, you saw significant movement in the futures markets on Green Bay when they obtained Micah Parsons. Jordan Love's MVP odds went way down. I bet Jordan Love to win MVP at 20-1. I bet the Packers win the Super Bowl at 12-1. I think the Packers are one of the best teams in the league. And I just don't I don't see Detroit coming in on the road and winning this
Would
game.
you say there's a better non-quarterback than Parsons? Maybe Aiden Hutchinson. He's on the other team.
It depends on how much you value some of these offensive linemen, but he's definitely, him and the Crosbys and Parsons and all those guys are all pretty valuable.
What's his name? Who's the name's eluding me now? Pittsburgh.
Watt.
TJ.
Yeah.
Watt. But yeah, no. Parsons obviously massive upgrade for Green Bay.
If Dallas had an edge rusher that was athletic last night, it might have helped. If they could only find one, it might have helped them out.
All right, we got the final game on the main slate. The Houston Texans pay a visit to LA to play the Rams. The Rams are -3, -120 with an over-under of 43.5. John, I feel like a lot of people are very bullish on Los Angeles this year. Are you?
Not particularly, not overly bullish. I do think they're going to be better. I do think they improve. So bullish
on a playoff team. They were already a playoff team.
No, I know, but I think this is going to be a better team than they were last season. I don't know if they go deeper. They sort of came on there. They didn't look like a playoff team early in the year.
They had a lot of injuries.
They had injuries for sure, but now they have both of those wide receivers. Their top or now they don't have Kupp there, but the two main pieces were injured at different times, if not at the same time. I think they overlapped at some point. I think as far as this game goes, I don't really have a good feel at all about this game. I mean, I honestly don't even want to give you an opinion. I don't know if you guys have any strong convictions on this game. This is probably my least favorite game to bet on the day because I kind of like both teams here, so I don't really have a good betting angle for it.
Bryce,
I like the Rams early in the season before Stafford gets beat up. I think he comes in. All the talk in training camp is he's hurt. All this stuff. I think McVay and him find a way early in the season, and they kind of die off towards the end of the season. So if I had to choose, I would be a buyer on them. The first 5 or 6 games, and then kind of sell them towards the end of the season is my strategy on the Rams. As you said, though, this is line that Stafford is good, right? They wouldn't be this big of favorites if it wasn't expected that Stafford was going to be okay. So I kind of think the market agrees with me there. And I think you see the Rams lines steadily drop throughout the season as he becomes less healthy.
I am very down on Houston. I think they're pretty overrated. It's kind of like those Deshaun Watson teams they had where they were consistently beating up on a bad division, making the playoffs, and then losing.
Worst division in football.
Yeah, I like the Rams here laying the 3. I think that line keeps going up. I think the Texans are going to struggle to score with the injury to Joe Mixon and now Christian Kirk also being out. So give me the Rams and the under. The Rams will be one of my larger bets this week. And that leads us into the Sunday night game. Baltimore at Buffalo, potential AFC Championship game material here. We have the Ravens now favored, laying 1 with an over-under of 50.5.
That's crazy to me.
It's crazy to you that Baltimore's favored. Let me know why.
And I still want to take them. I might be the biggest Lamar stan, not only at the company, but in the NFL. Give me Lamar every single day of the week. I think they've ran extremely bad to not have better results than they've had. Going into Buffalo is always it's always a tough spot, but I don't know. I would probably
a lot
take
better
them
in September than it is in December.
100%. I would probably take them up to 2.5. I kind of thought they'd be 2.5 point dogs.
Well, they opened that way.
There you go. Not very off base on that. I'm just going to be buying Lamar all season, as I do every single year. I don't know. What does Josh Allen have? They have a shit running game, a dumbass coach, an overrated defense, and shit skill position.
John.
Yeah, that was a pretty good indictment. I agree. I mean, Baltimore was the best team in football last year. I don't care what anyone says. Didn't win the Super Bowl. Obviously, didn't get there. I think eventually that turns around. I still think they're the best team in the AFC. You're talking about Buffalo being a dog at home on a Sunday night game that should tell you something right there. I don't care who they're playing. Josh Allen's going to be open up as a dog on the Sunday night game. I think the market is telling you with the way this, and they opened this line with Buffalo as the favorite, and that is now shifted to Baltimore as the favorite. I like Baltimore in this game. Like I said, they're the best team, I think, in the NFL. I think they will be the best team in the NFL this season, at least during the regular season. Big Lamar fan as well. Yeah, I like Baltimore in this game. I think they roll them, and I do think they get this over the 51.
I agree. I think that Baltimore is a far more complete team than the Bills, who tend to strike me as a one-man operation these days. Baltimore has the advantage basically all over the field. Obviously, it's a little tough being a road game, but the weather won't be an issue. As far as the total, I think it may be a little lower scoring than people think. That it's come down from 53 to 50.5, crossing that key 51 number. So, but yeah, I think Baltimore wins, and I think Baltimore wins convincingly. That leads us into the final game of the week, the Monday night game. Minnesota Vikings and J.J. McCarthy going into Chicago to face the Bears and Caleb Williams. John, do you believe in J.J. McCarthy?
Not yet. No. So I'm gonna take the Bears here plus the points. I think the Bears will be improved. I like Williams. I'm not convinced yet on McCarthy. So I think the Bears take a little bit of a step up. I think the Vikings take a step down this year. I'll take the points at home. I do like. I love home divisional dogs in the first couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks of the season. That's another kind of angle that I do look at. It's been successful over the last few years. So give me the Bears plus the 1.5 on the Monday night game. They'll be pretty fired up there in Chicago for that one. And they win this one outright.
Bryce.
Could not agree with John more. I think Caleb Williams, like, people just love to hate him, and you're getting a discount on that. Give me him over JJ any day of the week. Home dogs. I just think you take him.
The Bears have run into a plethora of injuries, especially at running back. I'm going to need to see it from Ben Johnson as a head coach before I buy into it too much. Kevin O'Connell has won me over on his ability to develop. So
you're taking coaching over quarterbacking.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure JJ's even worse than Caleb. And JJ has Justin Jefferson, and I think Minnesota's defense is better.
Minnesota does have the best player on the field.
Yeah. So I'm going with the Vikings. I'm not like super convinced about it. But I don't like either of these teams in the long run. I think they're both significantly worse than Green Bay and Detroit. And with that, we will go into our favorite bets of the week. We'll start with you, Bryce. What is your number one bet of the week?
Ravens.
John.
Give me the Giants plus the points. That's the bet of the week.
My favorite bet of the week is the Steelers. And with that, for John and Bryce, I am JVC. We will see you at 7:00 tonight for Showdown Kings.
No, I'll see everyone at 5.
Yeah, John will see you at 5. All right, later.